A Royal Christmas Carol, freely adapted from the novel by Charles Dickens. Additional material by Adam Eggington and David Mitchell. Good evening. I am Charles Dickens. Here we are again for another instalment of A Royal Christmas Carol. Now, I must inform you that the characters portrayed in this adaptation, resembling the royal family, they are in fact fictitious versions of themselves and should be taken in a light-hearted way. The views expressed are not of my own, nor the royals, the families, nor even of the writers and performers. Please note, the material may be offensive to those who are offended, particularly those from a background other than British, or even in fact if you are British. If you find the offensive material offensive, please stop listening. Right, now the boring, ignorant, pathetic little bastards have left, we shall begin. Stave 2, the first of the three spirits. When Prince Philip awoke, it was so dark that, looking out of bed, he could scarcely distinguish if there was a black person in the room or not. He was endeavouring to pierce the darkness with his ferret eyes, when the chimes of a neighbouring church struck the 4 quarters, so he listened for the hour. To his great astonishment, the heavy bell went on from 6 to 7, from 7 to 8, and regularly up to 12, then stopped. 12.
12? They're not coming till 3, so I might as well go back to sleep.
Prince Philip went to bed again, and thought, and thought, and thought, it over and over, and could make nothing of it. The more he thought, the more perplexed he was, and the more he endeavoured not to think, the more he thought. Prince Philip finally managed to go to sleep, but as soon as Prince Philip closed his eyes, he awoke again at the bells chiming 3, and the sun was just setting.
Why, it isn't possible that I could have slept through a whole day and far into the afternoon. Surely Lizzie would not stand for this. Is that it? Where the bloody hell is that ghost? Bloody Queen Mother getting me all worked up for nothing, the horrible little... Ah! Boobs and poo!
He spoke before the hour bell sounded, which it did with a deep, dull, hollow, melancholy 1. Light flashed up in the room upon the instant, and the curtains of his bed were drawn. The curtains of his bed were drawn aside, I tell you, by a hand. Not the curtains at his feet, nor the curtains at his back, but those to which his face was addressed. The curtains of his bed were drawn aside, and Prince Philip, starting up in a half-recumbent attitude, found himself face to face with the unearthly visitor who drew them. As close to it as I am now to you. I'm standing in the spirit at your elbow. It was a strange figure, with big bouffant hair, a suit of dark blue, and a giant handbag.
Are you the spirit, sir, whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Oh, bloody hell. Why did it have to be you? Why couldn't it be Audrey Hepburn or Marilyn Monroe? Why have the spirit sent you? I hate you.
I am Margaret Thatcher. I am the ghost of Christmas past.
What is it with spirits saying who they are? I have eyes, you know, I can see you, and I already know about Christmas past. I've read the bloody Bible, you know.
I'm here to talk to you about your past.
Oh, all right. What does this entail, then? Are you going to sit and read me a bedtime story or something?
Thatcher put out her hand as she spoke, and clasped him gently by the arm.
Rise, walk with me.
I may be worshipped by some people as a god, but I am a mortal, and with my age I am more likely to trips and falls.
Bear but a touch of my hand, there, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
As the words were spoken, they passed through the wall, and stood upon an open country road with olive fields on either hand. The smell of kebabs lingered in the air. The city had entirely vanished. Not a vestige of it was to be seen. The darkness and the mist had vanished with it, for it was clear they were in Greece.
Well, fuck me with a pointed stick,
said Prince Philip, clasping his hands together as he looked about him.
I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
Thatcher gazed at Prince Philip, who seemed to be frowning more and more as he stood looking at an old building.
Does this place bring back any fond memories?
Fond memories? I couldn't wait to escape this bloody treacherous place. What's that smell? It's that dog sick. Come on, let's turn back.
No, this lady's not for turning.
Great.
We must go on. You recollect the way.
I do remember it, but I'm not telling you, poor face.
Let us go on.
They walked along the road. Prince Philip recognising every gate and post and tree, until a little market town appeared in the distance. With its bridge, its church and winding river, some shaggy ponies were seen trotting towards them with boys upon their backs, who called to other boys in country gigs and carts driven by farmers. All these boys were in great spirits and shouted to each other until the broad fields were so full of merry music that the crisp air laughed to hear it.
Ugh! That one almost touched me.
These are but shadows of things that have been. They have no consciousness of us.
I don't care if the sky turned pink. Keep the buggers away.
The Joyson travellers came on, and as they came on, Prince Philip knew and insulted every one of them. He was rejoiced beyond all bounds at his witty remarks.
The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still.
I know, and great times they were. The amount of times my family tried to get me to come home, but I said I'd rather spend it with Ali Baba or Robinson Crusoe than with them. They were the days. Peace and quiet. Not even a mouse made a noise at Christmas time, and I shooed off all my friends. Great days.
Thatcher showed Prince Philip a little girl, much older than the boy, come darting in, and putting her arms around his neck and often kissing him, addressed him as her dear, dear brother. "I've come home to bring you home, dear brother, home, 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 to bring you home for good and all, home, home, home."
Home, you little fanny?
Home, yes, home for good and all, home for ever and ever. Father was much kinder than he used to be, that home's like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night when I was going to bed at home, and that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home, and he said, "Yes, you should come home," and sent me in a carriage to bring you from home, and you're to be a man, and never to come back here, but first we're going to be together all the Christmas long, to have the merriest time in all the world, at home.
Margarita, you are a funny woman. Anyway, thanks for coming. See you next year.
She clapped her hands and laughed, and tried to touch his head. But the young Prince Philip moved. She laughed again. Young Prince Philip did not, and looked sternly at her. Then she began to drag him in her childish eagerness towards the door, and he kicked and screamed and ran to the schoolmaster.
Bring down Master Prince Philip's box. Not there. There.
Master Prince Philip was confused and distraught. He threw himself in front of the schoolmaster.
No, this cannot be true. Please don't send me home. They'll expect me to socialise and to act appropriately.
The schoolmaster just pointed at the door. Young Master Prince Philip hung his head in shame and walked through it.
What a dreadful time that was. My first Christmas with the family. It went tits up from there, really. Why did you show me such things, Spirit? This has just reminded me more of why I hate Christmas.
We must now move on to a later Christmas in your past.
If we must, let's get on with it then.
The ghost stopped at a certain warehouse door.
Do you know this place?
Know it? It's old Fuzzywogg's Racism Academy. I was apprenticed here and excelled here. I completed the course within 6 weeks. First person ever to do so.
They went in. At sight of an old gentleman in a Welsh wig sitting behind such a high desk that had he been 2 inches taller, he must have knocked his head against the ceiling. He also had Tourette's. Prince Philip cried in great excitement.
Look, it's old Chief Fuzzywog. Bless his heart. Head of the that tribe that worships me. It's Fuzzywog alive again.
Yes, old Chief Jack Fuzzywog laid down his spear and looked up at the clock which pointed to the hour of 7. He rubbed his hands, adjusted his capacious grass skirt, laughed all over himself, then wiped himself down and called out in a comfortable, oily, rich, fat, jovial voice,
"You're there, Philip!" Dick! Don't call me Dick, you bloody spear chucker.
Prince Philip's former self, now grown a young man, came briskly in, accompanied by his fellow prentices.
By God, there they all are! Look, there's Hitler, Stalin, Chairman Mao, Gaddafi, the KFC guy. And Mary Berry, bless me, they all tried, but no one was as racist as me. You me boys, and Mary, no more work tonight. Cook! Christmas Eve, Dick! Christmas, Philip! Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson. I never understood that saying. Why not just say you hurry up and hoof them? Ilio! Clear away, me lads! Pooh! And let's have lots of room here. Ilio! Dick! Cheer up, Philip! Piss off! Do it yourself. I'm off to shoot some deer.
Fuzzywog gave young Philip a stern look, but Philip just flipped him the finger and shined his rifle. The others, not being as racist as Philip, continued to clear away the items and get ready to make merry on Christmas Eve. In came a fiddler with a music book and went up to the lofty desk. Philip quickly grabbed him and turfed him back out again. He could never stand the fiddle. In came Mrs. Fuzzywog, one vast substantial woman. In came 3 Miss Fuzzywogs, beaming and lovable. In came the 6 young followers whose hearts they broke. To get to the point, the whole blooming tribe came in. Some shyly, some boldly, some gracefully, some awkwardly, and some sacrificing a small goat and offered it to Philip, who turned his nose up at it and kicked the smallest one. In they all came, anyhow and everyhow. There were no dancers yet, but that was because there was no fiddler. Philip drank most of the punch and ate most of Mary Berry's cakes. As he became more merry, he became the life and soul of the party, playing the bongos and even starting the can-can. Even punching the small Nigerian boy got a laugh, and great fun was had by all. When the clock struck 7, this domestic ball broke up. Mr. and Mrs. Fuzzywog took their stations, one on either side of the door, and shaking hands with every person individually, as he or she went out, wished him or her a Merry Christmas.
Ah, that was a good Christmas. But 1 in 90-odd years is not good enough to change my mind. Boobs and poo, I say.
Oh, my time grows short. Quick!
This time has been a total waste of time.
Margaret Thatcher was not addressing Prince Philip, or anyone whom he could see, but it produced an immediate effect. For again Prince Philip saw himself. He was older now, a man in the prime of his life, married to a queen. The Queen of England, and lots of other places, including Wales. His face was not harsh and rigid lines of later years, but it had begun to wear the signs of care and anger. There was an eager, restless motion in his eye, which showed the passion of racism had taken root. He was not alone, but sat by the side of a fair young queen at a long table in Sandringham. It matters little to me, very little. I don't need a paper crown, as I already have one of my own.
Bloody hell, the stupid cracker joke. Every bloody year she says that joke. It wasn't even funny then.
A golden one!
It's her.
The young Prince Philip sat stern-faced, rolled his eyes as showing his awareness of how unfunny the joke really was. The joke really isn't funny. Did you not find that funny, darling?
Well, I've got a funnier joke. There was an Englishman, Nigerian, and an Indian who were going to...
Philip! It's Christmas. We don't tell racist jokes around the table at Christmas.
Ah, boobs and poo. Just one little one. You did your crapper joke.
No!
Boobs and poo.
He was about to speak, but, with her head turned from him, she resumed. We made a contract when we got married.
Yes, but...
I promised to govern 3/4 of the world.
I know,
And you said that you would not tell racist jokes on Christmas Day. Prince Philip stood from the table and mouthed some words to the Queen, which looked like boobs and poo. He stormed off to the lounge.
Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you delight to torture me?
One shadow more.
No more. No more. I don't wish to see it. Show me no more. I'll keep my eyes closed. You can't make me watch another.
Please, just a small one.
Remove me. I cannot bear it. I hate Christmas Day as it is. And I've had to go through 3 today already. Leave me. Take me back. Haunt me no longer.
Prince Philip swung for Maggie, but she disappeared in an instant. Prince Philip found himself punching the air in his bedroom again, and fell off the bed.
Oof.